American Family News, I'm Rusty Pugh. Iran appearing to halt attacks on nearby Gulf countries ahead of peace talks with the U.S. this weekend. Matt Finn reporting from Dubai.
Today is the first day that Iran has not fired a missile or a drone at this country since this war began. So very positive signs here that Iran may be complying with this ceasefire. Now, yesterday, even after news of the ceasefire broke, Iran did launch missile and drone attacks on the UAE, Kuwait, Israel, and on Saudi Arabia's critical Yanbu oil pipeline, which has served as a way of delivering fuel without using the Strait of Hormuz. And there has been some confusion about whether the ceasefire between Iran and the U.S. prohibits Iran from striking Gulf countries. Vice President Vance says the deal does require Iran to stop firing on U.S. allies here in the Gulf.
Iran is proposing a 10-point plan which demands the U.S. withdraw its forces from the Middle East and end all sanctions against Iran, among other provisions. White House National Economic Council Director Kevin Hassett says many of the demands were silly, but says they're working on a deal that will benefit the entire region.
If they establish a rule of law, if they join the community of nations, then we fully expect that they could be a very wealthy and peaceful country again. And so I think that, analysis of how good it could be for them if they take a deal is something that will for sure be on the table.
A former naval commander thinks the United States can use the ceasefire with Iran to our advantage.
Iran is claiming victory after President Trump backed down from his threat to attack its bridges and power plants in order to destroy Iranian, quote, civilization. Trump agreed to a 2-week ceasefire subject to Iran reopening the Strait of Hormuz. Retired Navy Commander Kirk Lippold commanded the USS Cole during a 2000 terrorist attack. He believes the pause could be beneficial.
The 2 weeks that we are doing this gives us an opportunity to, number one, we can take this time to do maintenance, to give the crews a little bit of a breath, to rearm, to refuel, to reload.
And Lippold says at the same time we get to watch how the Iranians are going to violate the ceasefire.
We can look at what they're putting into place to try and throttle and control the flow of oil through the Strait of Hormuz. So the main reason for a 2-week ceasefire should be looked at as an opportunity for us to get ready for the next phase, to determine how Iran is going to prepare to violate the ceasefire agreement, which in my estimation, it's not if, but when they will do it. And they're already doing it right now by firing missiles into Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, and other Middle Eastern countries.
So Lippold thinks we take advantage of this time.
So I think we take advantage of this time, knowing that Iran is going to violate it because they always do. They always lie. They always look out for their own interests. But at the end of the day, I think that we need to prepare for what's going to come next.
I'm Chad Groening.
Investigators in Oklahoma say that debris on Interstate 35 may have caused a crash that claimed the lives of a mother, her child, and a state trooper. Jeff Manasso reports.
The Oklahoma Highway Patrol says a big truck may have lost its load on southbound I-35 Wednesday in Oklahoma City. 36-year-old Mercedes Bain was driving southbound. It's believed she tried to avoid debris, crossing into the northbound lanes and crashing into State Trooper Vernon Brake. The officer, Bain, and her 4-year-old daughter, all dead at the scene. Bain's brother, Rio, reflecting.
She was a good woman, trying her best. She had 3 beautiful kids. Her loudness, I used to hate it, but I don't know, I just miss hearing it.
Investigators are looking for a white dump truck with a trailer that may have lost its load, causing the deadly crash.
And finally, the latest numbers for the state of the economy and consumer spending are out.
Inflation before the Iran conflict came in as expected, rising 2.8% for the year ending in February, matching the January reading. The PCE price index was up 0.4% from January to February. Core PCE for the year, excluding food and energy, improved a little to 3%. Economists were predicting an increase of 2.8% for the year and 3% for core PCE, excluding food and energy. Ginny Coselda, Fox News.
For American Family News, I'm Rusty Pugh.
Hello, this is Ann from Michigan. I've been a caregiver for my dad and now a guardian. I can remember right where I was on the highway when I came upon your channel. I live alone now after my husband of 36 years left me. The best medicine to combat my deep sadness and feeling of being used and then pushed aside is my family and AFR. Thank you so much. I love you.
In Matthew 22:37-40, Jesus said, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment, and the second is like it. Love your neighbor as yourself. All the law and the prophets hang on these two commandments."
Love God and love people.
It's Share-a-thon on American Family Radio. Call now, 877-616-2396. That's 877-616-2396. Or give online at afr.net. Make your pledge and help us love God and love people during Share-a-thon.
'Cause it all comes down to this. Love God and love people. We're living in a world that keeps breaking, but if we want to find a way to change it, it all comes down to this. Love God and love people.
All right, folks, it's the last day of Share-a-thon. Share-a-thon Central, Rob West, Walker Wildmon, we're here with you. And we're going to give out the number probably a record number of times because this is the last day.
That's right.
And definitively, this is the last time Rob and I will be with you. 877-616-2396, 877-616-2396. Share-a-thon is the time, 3 days in the fall, 3 days in the spring, where we come before our listening audience and we let you know what our needs are, specifically our financial need for you to partner with the ministry here. So here's the number to call in and donate, 877-616-2396. We've also got our website up and running for you at afr.net in your browser. Just type in afr.net. Rob, we need a strong hour. We've got a special, this is a special, $250 add-on challenge. We were going to do $200 as we've done in previous days, but we thought, hey, we've got the matching money available. Let's do a $250 add-on challenge per gift this hour for the next 55 minutes, Rob. 877-616-2396.
This has never happened before, right, Walker?
No, never done a 250. We've done 100 or 200, never a 250 add-on.
I mean, this is a big deal. It's the last day of our spring Share-a-thon. $250 added to every gift, but just until the top of the hour. So we've got 53 minutes looking for hundreds and hundreds of calls. We want to take full advantage of every dollar available for this add-on challenge. $250 added to every gift. That means right now when you make that $50 gift, all of a sudden we're at $300, which is just incredible. So let's just flood the phones right now. Maybe you've been waiting, you've been busy. I know it's beautiful outside. You've had errands to do. Maybe you're at work, whatever it might be. If you would literally take 2 minutes during this hour, and why not do it right now, call 877-616-2396. We just crossed 13,000 families that have come alongside us just in the last couple of days. We need to hear from thousands more, and you can be that one where $250 added to your gift of any amount, and we mean that. That $50 gift is $300. That $25 gift is all of a sudden $275. You see how it works. It applies at afr.net as well. But this is the moment here on our final day. We need to hear from you. 877-616-2396.
All right, there you have it, folks. The request is simple. The appeal is there. You know what our needs are. We're a listener-supported broadcast ministry. We're not on the air without you. That's not an exaggeration. It's not hyperbole. That's just how it works. We're a listener-supported nonprofit organization, so we rely on generous donors, those who benefit from the ministry and the outreach of AFR, to call in and donate each Share-a-thon to keep us going strong and on the air, 100% debt-free as we have been for the last 45-plus years. Here's the number, 877-616-2396, 877-616-2396. Occasionally I'll hear from some of you that say, hey, are you guys expanding? Are you going to take AFR to new places? Well, the answer is yes, but we have to be financially strong in order to grow the ministry and reach more people. We've purchased stations in Birmingham, Alabama in recent years. We just expanded to Des Moines, Iowa. We've expanded to Jacksonville, Florida in recent years, Chattanooga, Tennessee. These are major markets where we've been able to buy radio stations with cash because we have a strong listener and support base during these Share-a-thons. Here's the number, 877-616-2396. Whether you can give $50 or $500 $250 is going to be added on for this hour. This is a special. We've never done this before during Share-a-thon history, having $250 added on to each gift. We've had a group of generous donors leading up to Share-a-thon that have pulled together resources and money and said, hey, we want to challenge other givers by adding $250 onto every single gift that comes in the door. And it just happens to be America's 250th anniversary. That's another reason we wanted to do this, to celebrate America's 250th birthday. 877-616-2396. We need to get several hundred calls in this hour at 877-616-2396. Or, Rob, they can go easily online to afr.net.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And this is the moment to do it. It's our last day here at our Spring Share-a-thon. Love God and love people. You know, folks, as you give, even now, you're giving to support every facet of this ministry. For more than nearly 50 years, from Brother Don's first founding, this ministry has always been about supporting the local church. It's always been about the gospel of Jesus Christ, standing on God's word, and transforming the culture. And that's still true today with incredible ministries and efforts that are making a real difference and an impact in our nation. It doesn't happen without you, though. If you love some of the programming on AFR, maybe you love all of it. I'm sure you have your favorite shows. All of that is brought to you by listener support. So whether you come in with a monthly gift right now or a one-time gift, this hour only, it's going to come and go for the next 49 minutes. $250 added to every gift. So would you consider a gift right now? Perhaps you could do $250 and it would get doubled, and that would just be incredible. And $500 going to the work of AFA and AFR. 877-616-2396. Your best gift right now. We need all of them, especially during this $250 add-on challenge. Also at afr.net.
Barbara just called in from Blackshear, Georgia. Beth from Rogers, Arkansas. Matt just called in from Bonaire, Georgia. Elijah from West Lafayette, Indiana. We've got other calls coming in from Fremont, Michigan, Columbia, Mississippi. Lumberton, Mississippi. We've also got another call coming in right now from Helen in Dallas, Texas. Calls all around the country, even places and states that we don't have a radio station. Why? Because we have the AFR app. All of this is made available because of generous listeners like you. So if you tune in and out of AFR throughout the day, throughout the week, your family benefits from it. You tell your coworkers about it. You tell your pastor about AFR, and you love the Bible teaching and the commentary and the laughter on Trivia Friday. Folks, all of this takes time, resources, and money to keep the organization going. And so Share-a-thon is the time where we pass around the virtual offering plate and let you contribute to the work of AFR. 877-616-2396, 877-616-2396. You guys, we've got a couple folks that are not on the phone I can see right now. Let's get every operator on the phone, every volunteer that's driven in, every staff member here on the phone, taking your call, taking your donation, both small and large, whatever you can give, it's greatly appreciated at 877-616-2396. The $250 add-on challenge, Rob, is a generous gift from previous donors leading into Share-a-thon that really help bolster your gift for this hour. $250 is going to be tacked on to every gift that comes in the door.
Yeah, and it's a big deal. I mean, this has never happened before. We've never been able to add $250 to every gift. It's only for this hour. It's going to come and go. So this is a unique opportunity. You know and love the ministry of AFR. You count on it each day. You maybe build your schedule around your favorite program. You love the stand when it comes in the mail, and you know it's making a difference in our culture. And for such a time as this, we need God's word loud and clear. We need to proclaim religious freedom and stand for it. We also need to make sure the truth is going out, and that has to do with the news we consume and the media that comes into our home. All of that is wrapped up in the ministry of AFA and AFR, and that's what you're funding when you give. So here on our last day of our Share-a-thon, before we return to regular programming and before this hour ends and this $250 add-on challenge goes away, would you consider your best gift right now and then respond? The number again, 877-616-2396. We'd love to get more than 600 calls this hour, but it's going to take all of you taking just 2 minutes to stop what you're doing and call right now, 877-616-2396. We have volunteers ready. They've had lunch. They're ready to go. They'd love to take your gift right now. Also, it's quick and easy at afr.net.
Rob, you and I have been averaging about 300 calls per hour that we've been on together. Some of the other shows have gotten 350. I think you and I got 384 yesterday during one of the hours. But, folks, this is the last day. So let's finish strong. Let's hit at least 400 calls this hour. We're doing pretty good on our pace, but we've got to keep it going strong. We need some of you who haven't called into Share-a-thon yet to go ahead and pick up your phone and call 877-616-2396, 877-616-2396. Everybody loves to have a strong finish on day 3 of Share-a-thon each year in the fall and the spring. So let's do that right now. I know there's several of you right now listening that enjoy AFR. Maybe you're some of our most avid listeners and you just haven't called into Share-a-thon yet for whatever reason. What better time to do it than on day 3? This hour, we have a $250 add-on challenge, the first ever we've ever done this, with a $250 add-on challenge to every single gift that comes in the door this hour. Here's the number, 877-616-2396, 877-616-2396, or afr.net. And this evening, we're going to jump back into regular programming. You're going to hear your regular favorite shows tomorrow and into the weekend. And so we won't be back with this specific request, with this specific project, until the fall of this year. So go ahead and donate during these 3 days to help keep American Family Radio going strong. We're listener supported and we need you. 877-616-2396, or you can go over to afr.net.
There's a lot of ways to give. A lot of folks giving one time. We've had several folks come in with a leadership gift where they gave $5,000 or $10,000. We need some of those. A lot of folks saying, listen, it's been a difficult year, but I want to be involved. I don't want to miss out, and so I can make that $25 gift. Well, great. We can use it, especially this hour, because when you have an add-on challenge like this where we're adding $250 to every gift, it's really less about the amount and more about the volume.
Yeah.
We're just looking for every giver standing with us. It's an enormous encouragement to us. Every call, every click coming in, and then when we can put $250 on top of it, it just makes all the difference and helps us to fund this work. So if you've got the time right now, and literally it'll take 2 minutes or less, go ahead and get on the phone, 877-616-2396. We've got just 43 minutes remaining for this $250 add-on challenge, afr.net.
You know, Rob, one thing you talk about on your program, we've mentioned here on the show as well, is that we can take outright stock gifts.
Yeah.
Here at American Family Association and American Family Radio. So right now, you probably don't have many appreciated stocks. Historically, they may be appreciated, but, you know, the market's been up and down, a little bit of uncertainty. But if you get to a point where you have some appreciated stocks and you look at it and go, you know, I don't know what to do with this, but maybe I want to donate it to a ministry, we can facilitate that for you. And then, of course, there's the tax incentive as well each year where you can write a portion of that off on your taxes. And so we take outright stock gifts. Our finance department, our AFA Foundation team, they know exactly how to handle that. They do it every single day of the week. And so we take outright stock donations as well. That's another option on the table for some of you who want to give that. Any gift of any amount is greatly appreciated here at American Family Radio. It's our spring share-a-thon. We need you. It's day 3, and we do have a special $250 add-on challenge going on right now to commemorate America's 250th anniversary. And since we're mentioning America's 250th anniversary, if you give a one-time gift of $150 or more, we'll send you a 5-pack of these pocket constitutions with a foreword by Stephen McDowell, very renowned historian and George Washington expert on all things America's Christian founding. He wrote the foreword for this pocket constitution. We'll send you a 5-pack of that if you want to give a one-time gift of $150 or more. And, of course, that'll have $250 added to it, which will become $400 during this hour. And then if you want to become a Great Commission partner and give $30 or more, we'll send you the Pocket Constitution plus these In God We Trust 5-pack of wristbands. All of that going on now. And, of course, if you give $30 a month starting today, right now, for this first initial gift, for this first month, $250 will be added to it for the first time. So go ahead. Let's maximize our giving. 877-616-2396, afr.net. Rob West, Walker Wildmon, we're here with you for this hour until 2 Central. Let's keep the phones ringing at 877 616-2396.
My name is Stacy Fowler. I'm Vice President here at American Family Association. I am over the Human Resources Department for American Family. And so I grew up knowing about AFA because my dad was very involved and actually was on the board of directors when I was a child. And then he came to work at AFA in 1993. And as I raised boys, me and my husband, I stayed home. I was a stay-at-home mom. And once I decided that it was time, or I felt the Lord calling me to go to work full-time, the Lord just laid it on my heart to reach out to see if there was anything available at AFA. And wow, he opened doors just very quickly. I was thinking maybe about a year from then. And the next day, they're telling me I need to get in a resume and an application. And anyway, the Lord knew better than I did. And it's just so blessed to be here. And I started working as an assistant in the HR department. And when my boss retired, they asked me to be vice president over HR. So AFA is crucial with the biblical worldview. We need to look at everything through the lens of the Bible and the truth of the Bible. That's the straight edge. And so AFA is crucial in that it's unwavering, never bending, but also in a loving, caring way, because we want to take as many people to heaven with us as we can.
I listen to American Family Radio every waking moment, it seems like. Anytime I'm in my vehicle, or I also listen to podcasts that I've missed. But I want to say that American Family Radio, over the years I have listened to, has been a great inspiration to me as a pastor, keeping me informed of the things going on in the world, in the church, in the family. And I just greatly appreciate everyone there at American Family Radio. I financially support you as well during the share-a-thons. I'm so dedicated to listening to American Family Radio that I would say that the numbers on the FM dial are burnt into my liquid crystal screen on my radio, which is a good thing. So again, God bless American Family Radio, and to the listeners as well. I hope your ministries continue on for years to come.
Love God and love people. We're living in a world that keeps breaking, but if we want to find a way to change it, it all comes down to this. Love God and love people.
Share-a-thon continues on American Family Radio. Call and pledge your support at 877-616-2396. That's 877-616-2396. Or give online at afr.net and help us love God and love people on American Family Radio.
Welcome back to segment number 2 of At the Core. This is the 1 to 2 o'clock Central Hour, typically hosted by myself and Rick Green. Right now, I'm with you, Walker Wildmon, with Rob West, and we're with you this share-a-thon. It's our final day, day 3 of 3, and we need to finish this hour strong. We really need to finish the entire day strong with the rest of our hosts here on the programs throughout the next several hours, ending with the Hamilton Corner and Abraham Hamilton III. Here's the number to call in, 877-616-2396, 877-616-2396. It's Share-a-thon. We're a listener-supported ministry of American Family Association, and AFR is reaching thousands of people every day, every hour, all around the country, all around the world, with the truth of the gospel of Jesus Christ, teaching the whole counsel of God's Word, helping people to live righteous lives, to create a biblical worldview so we can impact and transform culture for God's glory. That's what we're doing in a nutshell here at American Family Radio, and we need your support. 877-616-2396. There's a $250 add-on challenge this hour for the next 30 minutes. This is a special first time ever we've done $250 for this add-on challenge. Of course, we did it to commemorate America's 250th birthday, taking place this year on July 4th, 2026. So let's celebrate America. Let's celebrate American Family Radio and join in this $250 add-on challenge. 877-616-2396. We have plenty of capacity to take your call at 877-616-2396. We can have 50 or 100 of you simultaneously over at afr.net keying in your donation.
Yeah, we sure can. And this is a big deal. $250 added to every gift. That's going to come and go. Not only is this the last full day of Share-a-thon, but just for the next 35 minutes is all we have to make this $250 add-on challenge available. So if you've been waiting, you love AFR, you've been meaning to give, but you haven't had time, it's been a busy week, we get it. Perhaps this is the moment where you could take 2 minutes and call right now. This is all about the volume. We've got to have a volume, a big flood of calls. We're looking for upwards of 600 calls this hour. That means if you're hearing my voice right now, I need you. Just place that call, 877-616-2396. There's another one coming in right there, but we've got room for more. We've got a second call center, a third call center, 877-616-2396. Your best gift right now, also at afr.net. And just know that you're not only funding the work of your local station, if you listen in one of our communities where we have 180 different stations all over the country in 30 states, but you're also funding all of the ministries here at American Family Association. You know, the studios, the news department, you're funding the core and all the programs on the radio, but you're also funding AFA Action and iVoter Guide and 1 Million Moms and The Stand, all of it with your gift right now. And just for the next less than 30 minutes, or just over 30 minutes, $250 is added to every gift. So if you haven't given, now is the time. 877-616-2396. Join more than 13,000 families that have already stepped on board to partner with us the last 3 days. AFR.net.
You know, American Family Radio, it's a beautiful thing because folks can sew into the work of American Family Radio and be a part of something even bigger than themselves and something that is impacting the future of America. That's what American Family Radio is doing. The Lord is using it. He's blessing it, and we're just humbled to be a part of it. And we want you to feel a sense of ownership and investment in the work of American Family Radio. One of the ways you can do that is by donating during our Share-a-thon. 877-616-2396 is the number. $250 add-on special just this hour to commemorate America's 250th birthday. 877-616-2396. We hear from countless listeners, whether they're truck drivers or even prison inmates, that hear the gospel, they hear the Bible teaching, they hear the financial advice, the sound biblical wisdom here on AFR, they hear the truth of what's going on in our culture, and they want more of it. And we've got to continue providing this content for people all around the country because we want to transform the culture for God's glory and shine the light of Jesus Christ. That's what we're doing through a variety of means, a variety of programs here on American Family Radio. Be a part of that by calling 877-616-2396, 877-616-2396. Misty in Montgomery, Texas called in. Nay from McCarley, Mississippi called in. Walter from Plano, Texas. We just got a call in from Randy in Jacksonville, Arkansas. And lastly, Thomas called in from Washington, Louisiana. Folks all around the country are calling in. You're making a huge impact. One of the studies, Rob, that was put out by George Barna in 2016, right after the 2016 election, so the report was probably published in early 2017, but it placed American Family Association and American Family Radio within the top 3 to 5 ministries that impacted the outcome of the election amongst evangelical Christians.
Wow.
And so evangelical Christians were saying in the top 3 to 5 ministries, American Family Radio and American Family Association help impact their vote. We help to educate voters to turn out, and we all know how critical that election was, as is every election. That's just one example of the impact of American Family Radio and American Family Association. Folks are listening out there. Corporations are paying attention. Politicians are taking note. Elected officials know what's going on, and they care about what American Family Radio and American Family Association has to say. And that's not because of Rob and I or anyone else here. It's because of our listeners, our supporters, because they have a voice and they let their voice be known. 877-616-2396 or afr.net. It's our share-a-thon. We need you. 877-616-2396.
This is a big hour. We've got just 30 minutes remaining. We've got $250. This has never been done before. We've never been able to add $250 to every gift of any amount. That's what's happening this hour only. This will come and go. Now is the time to call 877-616-2396. All right, Walker, we're at the bottom of the hour.
Yeah.
Is there a way we can hit 600 calls?
I think so, Rob. We're just a couple dozen away from 300, and we haven't quite. We just hit the half-hour mark.
Yeah.
So we can easily pull in another 300 to 400 calls over the next 30 minutes. But as you said, those listening that haven't donated yet, they have to call in right now at 877-616-2396.
All right, so this is the moment we can get there to 600 calls, but it's going to take all of you. If you've been listening, maybe you've given a gift, but you could call back now and make another gift to take advantage of this $250 add-on challenge, or maybe you weren't planning to give and you're saying, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do it, because even if I can only do $50, all of a sudden that's $300 going into the work of AFR and AFA, and that's a game changer. Maybe you could give $250 and we could double it. Or maybe you could do $1,000 and it becomes $1,250. Whatever the amount is you can give, now is the moment. At the end of our share-a-thon, it's our final day. We're going to shut it down at 6 o'clock. All these volunteers will head back home. But for now, they're here. They're ready. We need you. We've had more than 13,300 of you. We're looking for thousands more, and especially in these next 29 minutes where we can add $250 to every gift of any amount. This is really key. So would you respond right now? Your best gift. Here's the number. Get ready. 877-616-2396. We have volunteers standing by. We have 3 different call centers, plenty of capacity. There's never any waiting at afr.net. Grab your smartphone, grab your laptop, head over to afr.net. When you make your gift, whatever it is, we'll add $250 to it, but only for the next 28 minutes, afr.net.
That's right. It's Share-a-thon. This is the time of year, just a couple days in the spring, where we come before you and we let you know that we're listener supported. As a reminder, some folks tune into AFR. They may not know how we operate. They may think we're a for-profit, or we take corporate gifts or things like that, or government underwriting. Folks, we rely on you. We rely on people calling in and giving $50, $100, $500. That's how we keep things going. The last report I looked at, our average gift is about $175. So we rely on mostly small gifts. Thousands of small givers keep American Family Radio going strong. So we need you, whatever you can give. Maybe you can only give $20, $25. That's great. It's all going to go towards the culture transforming work of American Family Radio. This is a numbers game. If we have 1,000 of you call in just giving $20, $30, $40, that makes a huge impact, especially during this hour, as $250 is being added on to every single gift to commemorate America's 250th anniversary. 877-616-2396, 877-616-2396. Rob, there's so much going on in our country, so much going on in the news, so much uncertainty on many levels. But this is America's 250th anniversary, and the fact that we get to be alive to experience this, all the history being made, it's an amazing time. But I don't want us to lose focus, because this country wasn't preserved for a quarter of a century by no work, by laziness, by not paying attention, not staying focused. This country was preserved because patriots went before us, and they sacrificed all kinds of things. In some instances, they sacrificed their lives and their wealth to preserve the liberty in our country. And so the least that we can do as Americans is continue that legacy, maintain freedom, liberty, and prosperity, but not just for ourselves, but for our children, our grandchildren, and ultimately the freedom to share the gospel of Jesus Christ with our neighbors, with our friends, with our loved ones, and with people all around the world. That's what we're doing here at American Family Radio. That's what we're preserving. It's about something more than ourselves, or more than even our communities and our families. This is about preserving the ability to share the gospel, advance the gospel, and advance human flourishing all around the world. 877-616-2396 or afr.net. Rob, if people thought that this was just about AFR or just about themselves, that was a 1-minute lesson on why the picture here is so much bigger.
Yeah, it really is. And it takes all of us standing together, and that's the way we like it. You know, we wouldn't want one family or one foundation coming in and underwriting all this. We like to know that there's tens of thousands of people, families standing with us that love this work, that value it, that benefit from it personally, that say, we're in the boat with you, we're rowing together, and we're going to take this culture back. We're going to stand firm on our founders and the gospel and the Bible as our foundation here at our 250th anniversary celebration. We want to honor that. That's why we're sending you, when you make a gift of $150, this 5-pack of the Constitution of the United States of America. It's pocket size, so you can take it with you. Maybe you've never read it. You hear it referred to all the time. Maybe you refer to it yourself, but you've never taken the time to sit down and read this amazing God-given document that was just so brilliantly crafted by our founders. We want to put it in your hands and just celebrate it and honor what it means for our nation. When you give a gift right now of $150, we'll send it to you, in fact, a 5-pack, and then we'll add $250 to that gift to make it $400 total. So here's the moment, folks. We've got time running out, just 24 minutes. 877-616-2396. Really easy to click in at afr.net as well.
Yeah, that's right. Catherine from Theodore, Alabama. Janice just called in from Fort Jennings, Ohio. Olive, thank you for calling in from Hayward, Minnesota. Doris just called in from Fairmont, North Carolina. And Doug, Newton, Kansas, just called in. Doug in Newton, Kansas. Thanks so much to all of you. Janice, Olive, Michelle, Kay, let's see, Patricia, Carl, all of you calling in right now. We're having dozens of calls by the minute here in Sherathon Central. We have plenty of capacity, folks. We have Sherathon Central right here in front of Rob and I. We've got about 15 folks here right in front of us. We've got another 10 to 15 upstairs ready to take your call and donor support. We've got another overflow call center as a third option. So we have plenty of options here, plenty of capacity. Taking your call, taking your donation at afr.net is no problem. It's easy. We're here to take your information. It takes about 3 to 5 minutes, and then boom, you'll be done, and you'll know that you've invested in the work of American Family Radio this Sherathon. 877-616-2396. That's the number to call in right now, 877-616-2396. If you're thinking to yourself, I'll do it later, well, folks, this is the last day. Here at 6 p.m. tonight, we're going to jump back into regular programming. So let's go ahead and knock it out. Let's go ahead and check it off of our list to donate to American Family Radio this Sherathon. 877-616-2396 or afr.net. We need you. We got to get the phones ringing at 877-616-2396.
That's right. Never been done before. $250 added to every gift, but only for the next 23 minutes. So we need to hear from you right now. We've got plenty of capacity. Let's flood the phones. Let's flood the web with gifts right now so we can add $250 to every one. 877-616-2396, afr.net. Walker, as you think about what's coming, what's one thing you're really excited about that AFA is working on right now?
Yeah, I mentioned this earlier in the 9 o'clock hour, but our judicial research over at AFA Action, which is our government affairs arm, is just phenomenal research, but it could be very useful here in the coming months, and I don't have any special inside information. But when you look at the two oldest Supreme Court justices, they're the two most conservative, the two best, the two most constitutional, Samuel Alito and Clarence Thomas. And President Trump's obviously a Republican president. The likelihood of one of them retiring over the next year or two is highly likely, so that they can ensure a replacement that has a worldview like them, a view of the Constitution like them. And so that's one thing on our radar. And so we're getting ready for that. We're prepping for that. We're having meetings for that so we can help ensure that the best of the best, most constitutional, sound-minded judges make it to the Supreme Court in the future. This has the opportunity to transform American culture for God's glory in the years to come. So, folks, that's just one project of many that you can be a part of by calling 877-616-2396, 877-616-2396, afr.net, whether it's government affairs, the Stand Magazine, the News Division, American Family Studios. We are doing a lot of work all towards advancing godly values in American culture. Be a part of it. 877-616-2396, AFR.net, $250 add-on challenge right now for the next 20 minutes. Let's go.
Vice President Emeritus Buddy Smith.
As I think about my role here at AFA as a board member and then a staff member and a part of the leadership, I've seen a lot of changes, but one thing has always remained the same, and that is our mission. The mission here at AFA is one that's of vital importance, especially as I think about the turmoil that our nation is facing today. I think about this pleading prayer from Psalm 85:6, which says, "Will you not revive us again, that your people may rejoice in you?" You know, the problems we're facing today are just too large for human understanding. It seems like culturally we're becoming more and more secular, and we just need God's intervention in our nation today more than ever before. I don't know about you, but I just feel helpless in this battle. I know we all want to be involved politically and do our part to be salt and light, but we know that only God can save our nation. Thankfully, though, history has recorded periods of obedience when God's people have awakened and allowed His Spirit to take control. When we get serious, history has recorded that God gets serious. On several occasions, God has poured out His Spirit and entire cities have turned to Him. I think about the moral impact of the First Great Awakening in this country back in 1734, and it's often accredited with laying the foundation for the formation of our system of government after the American Revolution. As I think about the Second Great Awakening in 1790, when the power of God fell from heaven, believers lay prostrate before the Lord in repentance, and society was transformed, spilled out of the church into the world. You know, the stresses and woes of our nation today are comparable to critical times in our nation in the past. And I just believe it could happen again. We've seen Him save our country in the past, and I urge us in this fall share-a-thon to call on God to do it again. We just need a new work of God for a new generation, so the world may know there is indeed a God who lives and who empowers and who changes the destiny of those who call on Him.
I am a retired prison chaplain of 30 years, and I can say that your programs have been a blessing to the inmates around the country. Keep up the great work, AFR. You are a blessing to the church inside the prison cells. Thank you.
Jesus told us to love God with all our heart, soul, and mind, and to love our neighbors as ourselves. It's Share-a-thon on American Family Radio. Call 877-616-2396 or give online at afr.net. Make your pledge and help us love God and love people during Share-a-thon.
All right, there you have it, folks. You've heard listener testimonies. You've heard from Rob and I. You've been listening to American Family Radio, many of you, all day long. You've heard various hosts on today's programs talk about the important work of American Family Radio. We could go on for hours and hours about the work that AFR is doing, the impact that it's making because of folks like you that are activists, that are calling in, that are donating. But ultimately, folks, there's just a time for action, and the time for action is right now when it comes to Share-a-thon. The appeal is pretty simple. We're listener supported. We need you. We've got to have you. And so during these few days, we come before you. We give out the phone number. We field your donations to keep American Family Radio going strong. We've been operating debt-free for over 45 years, and we've only been able to do that because of generosity from listeners like you. Here's the number, 877-616-2396, 877-616-2396. It's Spring Share-a-thon. It's day 3, and we do have a special $250 add-on challenge for the next 16 minutes to commemorate America's 250th anniversary. $250 is being added on to every gift for the next 15 minutes because we have generous donors that have gone before you and said, hey, we want to use our pool of money, our pool of donations to challenge others to come along and partner with American Family Radio. Now is the opportunity. It's the last day. Here's the number, 877-616-2396, or you can go over to afr.net. And the beautiful thing about afr.net, we can take 50, 100, 200 people simultaneously right now at afr.net keying in their donation information.
Yeah, that's right. So just 15 minutes remaining. We need a big flood of calls to finish out this hour. This is about volume. It's about getting 250 added to as many gifts as possible, because every call, every gift means we could put more money to work to advance the gospel, to really fund the culture transforming work of the American Family Association. That's what Share-a-thon is all about. And this is our final day. Only 3 days that we set aside in the spring to invite you to invest in this work. This is the last of those 3 days, and then we're done till the fall. So if you could jump on board right now, and especially if you could do it in the next 14 minutes, we've got plenty of capacity. We've filled up every volunteer spot. We've got our second and third call centers. 877-616-2396. Could we get hundreds of you in the next 13 minutes calling right now to add $250 to your best gift? Whatever it is, doesn't matter the amount, 250 added to it. 877-616-2396. Or if you could click in online, grab your smartphone, it'll literally take you just 2 minutes to fill out the form, afr.net.
If you decide to give $150 or more one-time gift, which
is $400,
exactly,
right?
in this hour for the next 15 minutes, 14 minutes, that becomes $400. If you decide to give $150 one-time gift, you'll get this Pocket Constitution 5-pack as a small token of appreciation for your donation. It's got a foreword by Stephen McDowell. If you want to become a monthly partner, a Great Commission partner, and give $30 or more a month, which in this hour, for the first gift, for your first initial gift, it'll become $280 if you give $30, because the $250 is added on to it. We'll send you the Pocket Constitution 5-pack and the 5-pack of In God We Trust wristbands commemorating America's 250th anniversary. There's a lot to be excited about. I know there's a lot of noise in the news. There's always something to be distracted about. But folks, American Family Radio is reaching people. We're reaching thousands of people every day with the truth about what's going on in our country. We're bringing you accurate news from a Christian perspective. We're bringing you commentary. We're bringing you Bible teaching, financial advice. All of this, though, is rooted in a biblical understanding of the world, that God is the author and finisher of our faith, that He's the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. He's our creator. And so we view everything through this lens, that we're just servants. We're passing through, and we're here to be good stewards to His kingdom and to the world and bring people to the saving knowledge of Jesus Christ. That's what we're doing here at American Family Radio, and we couldn't do it without you. Here's the number. We're listener supported. We need your gifts. 877-616-2396. 877-616-2396. You know, Rob, it's really a blessing that we can come before our listeners with this level of intensity just 3 times in the fall, 3 days in the spring, and then we move back to regular programming, and then you're going to hear Faith and Finance and At the Core and Exploring the Word. Tomorrow is going to be Trivia Friday Live. And so we're able to just do this 3 intense days in the fall and spring. And folks come alongside, they're generous, and they support the work of AFR enough to get us until the fall.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, this is huge. This is so meaningful for this ministry as a listener-supported ministry. It doesn't happen without you, and so that's why we invite you passionately to jump in with us, and we're so thankful for now the nearly 14,000 of you.
Yep.
Incredible. Nearly 14,000 of you just in the last couple of days have said, yeah, absolutely, I'm in. And hundreds more are responding right now. We need you. This is about volume. We've got the first ever $250 add-on challenge, which just simply means whatever gift you can make right now, and that's between you and the Lord, we're going to add $250 to it, and it's going to go right to AFA, which is incredible. 877-616-2396. AFR.net. You know, the stewardship that is exercised here is remarkable. We're a member of ECFA, which means there's audited financials. You know, the team here is just absolutely committed to stretching every dollar that comes in. That goes all the way back to your grandfather, Walker, with stories are told. I've heard them about him walking around turning off the lights, right?
Yes, he was an avid believer in making every penny stretch, making every dollar stretch as far as he could. He was very frugal. And it was what's amazing is it was needed at the time of the founding of the ministry. Of course, frugality and stewardship's always needed, but my grandfather's laser focused on making every dollar count helped the ministry get off on a very strong financial footing. It set the stage for us to be good stewards in the years to come, and he would walk around every evening, cut the lights off. He would be the first one here in the morning, last one to leave. He would mess with the thermostats every evening. Who knows if that's actually effective or not, but in his mind, he was cutting off the units and helping things kind of lower the cost when people weren't in the building. And there's all other examples. We had pallets of sod delivered one time, and he just made an announcement over the intercom, hey, everybody get outside, we're laying sod. And so he didn't want to have to pay anybody else to lay sod. And so there's stories of our very own broadcast engineers that are typically working on transmitters and microphones. They were putting up sheetrock all the time, putting up walls and electrical outlets when we needed new offices. And so my grandfather knew that he needed to be frugal to keep the ministry out of debt, and he did that, and we're carrying on that legacy. 877-616-2396, 877-616-2396. It's Share-a-thon. We're in Share-a-thon Central. Phone calls are coming in, but we have plenty of people to take your phone call right now at 877-616-2396. Maybe you're sitting around, maybe you're driving, and you know, hey, I can give $1,000. I can give $5,000. Maybe you can give 10. Whatever you can give, if you can be extremely generous, that will be greatly appreciated. Be a leadership giver, as Rob says. 877-616-2396, 877-616-2396. We just went over the 550 calls for this hour. Rob, we can hit 600 calls.
We absolutely can.
This hour, definitely we can do it. We've got about 8 or 9 minutes left, which is an eternity in radio land. 877-616-2396. $250 added on to every single gift to commemorate America's 250th birthday. But this add-on special, Rob, only lasts about 7 or 8 more minutes.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So let's have a big push here to the end, 8 minutes to the top of the hour. Here's the way this works, though, and let me just remind you what's going on because you may be just tuning in. It's the last day of our spring share-a-thon. Love God and love people. This is how we fund AFA and AFR. It only happens 3 days in the fall, 3 days in the spring, and we're going to finish tonight at 6. But on top of that, for the first time ever, we've had some generous donors that are allowing us to use their giving with every call this hour only to add $250 to it. So when you make a call right now to 877-616-2396, whatever amount you give, and that's between you and the Lord, if it's $20, $200, or $2,000, we're going to add $250 to it in honor of our 250th anniversary celebration here in the United States. $250 added to every gift right now. You've got to be on the line by the time we reach the top of the hour. Even if you haven't completed your call, we'll be able to add $250 to it. So make preparations right now. Take 2 minutes, set what you're doing aside, and here's the number, 877-616-2396. We need a big flood of calls. And then on top of that, I need dozens of you right now that would grab your smartphone, click over to afr.net. We'll add $250 to your gift as well.
William in Texarkana, Arkansas, Jan in Wetumpka, Alabama, Sarah in Ethel, Mississippi, Charles just called in from Lee County, Mississippi, Charles in Memphis, Tennessee, and Mac in Belzoni, Mississippi. Let's see, Mitchell, Waycross, Georgia, Ann in Lexington, Tennessee. Other calls are coming in from Conroe, Texas, Illinois, Raton, New Mexico, Ravenna, Michigan, Marthaville, Louisiana. Folks are calling in from Iowa, all over the place, Ohio. Thank you so much to everyone who's called in thus far, donating to our Spring Share-a-thon. We're going to be done this evening at about 6 p.m., so call in now if you haven't already. We need everyone who hasn't called in right now to call in to Share-a-thon and donate. We're listener-supported. We need you. Without our thousands of faithful, loyal listeners out there, we're not able to do the work that we do and continue to grow and expand on the internet and through our FM radio signals and our magazine and all the services and ministry outreach that we provide, all of the events that we do. It's all made possible because of generous supporters like you. 877-616-2396, 877-616-2396. These listener testimonies have been powerful. Yeah. Rob and I and the entire team, we get extremely encouraged during Share-a-thon because we hear from you. We talk into a microphone for hours each week. Obviously, there's no two-way feedback with these microphones and our listeners. You're consuming. You feel like we're having a conversation. You feel like we're family because we are. But this is a time of encouragement. So when you call in, it's more than a gift. It's really an act of encouragement towards us, and we greatly appreciate it. 877-616-2396, 877-616-2396. There's just about 4 or 5 minutes left. $250 is being added on to every gift to commemorate America's 250th birthday, but only for the next 5 minutes until 2 Central. So call this number and donate. Let's maximize our giving this hour. 877-616-2396. We need about 100 of you right now going to afr.net in your browser. afr.net in your browser. Fill out the donation form. It takes about 2 or 3 minutes. If you land on the page before 2 p.m. Central, that $250 challenge will still be in effect.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And listen, if you want to come on board as a Great Commission partner right now at $30 a month or more, when you make that first monthly gift, $250 will be added to that. So that will allow you to stretch it out over 12 months, give $360. Yep. We put $250 on top of that. That's an incredible opportunity, but that's going to come and go in the next 3.5 minutes. So if you've got time and capacity and you can be on the line by the top of the hour, we're going to be able to add $250 to your gift. That's a big deal because here at the last full day of our Share-a-thon, this is really crunch time. We're trying to stretch to meet our goal. We can't do it without you. We brought in the reinforcements. We've got a full room of volunteers. We've got a second and a third call center. We've also got plenty of capacity at afr.net. The IT team is ready for you. So let me give the numbers again. $250 being added to every gift right now, but just for the next 2.5 minutes. 877-616-2396. That's the number, 877-616-2396 or afr.net. You're funding your local station. You're funding the work here of AFA. All of the ministries being helped and supported by your gift right now. And for the next 2 minutes only, $250 added to your best gift.
Let's fill up the phone lines. Let's clog the pipeline. Let's fill it up for the next few minutes and get all these calls at least queued up here in Share-a-thon Central so you can have that $250 added on. This special offer, this special add-on challenge is going to end in just a couple minutes, so let's take advantage of it. 877-616-2396. We have plenty of capacity. We've got folks in here. We've got donor support upstairs. We've got a call center as a third option. We've got plenty of people ready, excited, willing to take your call and take your gift. We're listener supported. It's Share-a-thon. This is where we ask for your support throughout these 3 days. And it's the last day, so what better time to call? 877-616-2396. Sharon in Oklahoma, Wesley in Lucedale, Mississippi. Leslie just called in from Moss Point, Mississippi, and Kathy from Slidell, Louisiana. Thank you to everyone who's called in over the last 3 days. We have several hours left for this Share-a-thon, about 4 hours left for Share-a-thon. We need you. 877-616-2396. 2396. Rob West, Walker Wildman, we've been with you this week during the 9 o'clock hour, the 1 o'clock hour. Thank you so much for calling in. Stay tuned to AFR. Finish out Share-a-thon with us. 877-616-2396 or afr.net, afr.net.
Faith, family, freedom. American Family Radio.